whether voice is there, whether it is audible. Akhil, whether it is audible. Which things are covered in a project? So project. Wait a minute. So types of projects, motorway and expressway. Next is metro, subway, and other mass transit systems. It has been covered in a project. Dams have been covered in a project. Railway networks and services, both passenger and cargo, it has been covered in a project. So, project deals with a large, where the construction cost is more, whether the span is more, and various units. It has been covered in this project. The motorway and expressway, it has been covered in a project. Metro, subways, and other mass transit systems, it has been covered in a project. Dams will be covered in a project. Railway networks and service will be covered in a project, both passenger and cargo. Power plants and other charged utilities, it has been covered in a project. Port and terminals, airports and terminals, various seaports, it has been covered in a project. Various seaports, it has been covered in a project, and its terminals. Okay, the airports and terminals are also covered in a project. Mines, various mines, coal mines are there, platinum mines are there, various minerals mines are there. So mines will be covered in a project, and natural resource explorations. Natural resources, to explore the natural resources from the ground, it will be covered in a project. And large new industrial undertakings, no expansions and extensions, will be covered in a project. And large residential and commercial buildings, when the size of small size residential or commercial buildings will not be covered, large size residential and commercial buildings will be covered in a project. So these are nothing but the various types of projects. Next is what is actually a project financing. Okay, so projects, as we have, it is nothing but a long-term infrastructures which deals with various aspects. So we have seen in previous slides, and it is connected with financing, because in order to complete a project, so we require a money. A large amount of money will be required for construction, for its executions, for its maintenance, for its various aspects related with the construction of work. Because project deals with a broad way, it has been covered. Various aspects will be covered in a project. Therefore, a large amount will be required. Therefore, financing plays an important role. Project financing plays an important role. So, as per IPFA, that is International Project Finance Association, that is IPFA, defined project financing as, what is project financing? Project financing, it has been again differently, it has been defined as the financing of long-term infrastructures. Okay, as we have already seen in project, it is nothing but a long-term infrastructures. So the financing of long-term infrastructures, industrial projects, and public services. There may be public services also. There may be supply of water lines, maybe there, drainage lines may be there, electrifications, power stations may be there. So public services, various public services, various generation of power, distribution of powers will be there. So this will be covered in a project. Okay, so public services will be covered in a project, industrial projects and public services based upon non-resource or limited resource. Okay, so these two concepts are very important: non-resource or limited resource financial structures, where project depth and equity. Equity is nothing but the fair means there should be a fair dealings between the two parties. That is nothing but the equity. Equity is the term related with the fair means. Okay, so whether we are having a non-resources or limited resources financial structures, when the resources for construction is limited, or when the resources for construction is it is non-resources, it is resources are not available. Okay, where project depth and equity used to finance the project are paid back from the cash flow. Okay, so when once the project runs, some amount it has been recovered from the construction of project, and that recovered amount can be again be utilized for the construction of a building or for a construction of that various aspects in the project. Okay, so there is nothing but a cash flow from various heads. Okay, there will be a cash flow. Okay, once we are having a once we got a profit from this from that particular project, from a particular item of work, so that amount can be utilized for the construction, again can be utilized for the construction, because this construction process is a ongoing process. Therefore we can reuse that amount. Therefore it is nothing but the cash flow, paid cash, paid back from the cash flow generated by the project. Okay, so project finance is especially attractive to the private sectors because they can fund major projects off balance sheet. Okay, off balance sheet in the sense various while having billing or while having estimation of a project, various things it cannot be included in a measurement sheet. It cannot be included in a rate analysis part. Okay, balance sheet. So therefore, in private sectors, this project financing plays an important role. In government sectors, because every work it is to be in written form, it is to be written in a balance sheet, it is to be calculated. Therefore, for in government firms, this project financing it has been not taken into consideration. But in private sectors, it has been taken into consideration, because beyond this offline balance sheet, we can consider various amount or various work can be taken offline. Okay, offline in the sense we cannot include that in a particular type of measurement, or we cannot include in its measurement sheet. Okay, therefore project finance we are using in for private sectors. Okay, so why it is important, why it is important to understand project finance. Project finance, it has been used, it is very essential for people involved in a project are used to find finance financing deals for major construction projects such as mining, transportation. As I've already said, project deals with mining, transportation, public utility industries or public utility services may be taken into consideration under project. Therefore, the people involved in the projects are used to find financial deals for major construction projects such as mining, transportation, public utility industries. They may result such risks and compensations for repayment of loans. Okay, insurance and assets in process. So whether a person who is investing on money in particular type of project, so he is in a will to have the profit from it. So for that he will it is very important to understand project finance, because he is giving the money, so he wants a return from it after 5 years or after 2 years or after completion of the projects. He wants a return from it. Okay, so it is very important for such bodies or such various projects in order to understand project finance. That's why they need to learn about project finance in order to manage project cash flow. As I've already said, there is a cash flow of there. Once we are getting a profit from it, the same amount, the same amount can be reused for construction of a project, or utilized for the construction of project. That's why they need to learn about project finance in order to manage project cash flows. Or it can be distributed among multiple parties such as investors, lenders, and other parties. Okay, so there may be distributed the amount which has been taken under which has been used as a taken as a profit can be utilized for some other purpose. Okay, so multiple parties such as investors, lenders, and other parties. What is lender? One who lends money, especially a bank or other entity, is nothing but the lender. the one who invests the money, the simple example of lender is nothing but the lender is nothing but the banks which invest the money depending upon its depth, depending upon its equality, depending upon its entity. The various investors invest the amount in case in project financing. Okay, so lenders is nothing but the private sectors or government sectors in case of such as banks. Okay, for whom it is important to understand project finance. So financing managers, financing managers, it plays an important role in order to understand the importance of project finance. Financial managers require its understanding regarding the project finance. Sponsors, various sponsors are there, various sponsors are there. Therefore, it is very important for the sponsors to understand the project finance. Lenders are there, as I've already said. Lender is nothing but the government or the private banks which gives a loan in order to construct a project. Consultants and practitioners, for consultant and practitioners, project financing plays an important role. Project managers, builders, suppliers, engineers, researchers, and students. Okay, so all these are very important. In all these heads are very important in order to understand project finance. Project finance to be understood by all these bodies, various bodies. There is nothing but the financial managers, sponsors, lenders, consultants, project managers, builders, suppliers, engineers, researchers, and students. Okay, so all this, it is very important to understand the project finance. Key characteristics of project financing. What are the different characteristics to be considered in the project financing? So financing of long-term infrastructures and or industrial projects using depth and equality. Unfair means equity. Depth and equity. Depth is typically repaid using cash flow generated from the operation of the project, as I've already said. These are the characteristics of the project financing. Once the amount it has been generated, it can be reused for various aspects or various construction in a project. So depth is typically repaid using cash flow generated from the operation of the project. Limited resource to project sponsors. Depth is typically secured by project assets including revenue producing contracts. So there should be a revenue generation in case of projects. So these are the various things to be considered while generation of revenue. First priority on a project cash flow is given to the lenders. First, because lenders are nothing but the investors. Therefore, first priority is given to the lenders is nothing but the banks. Okay. The first priority on project cash flows is given to the lenders. Concern of the lenders is required to disburse any surplus cash flow to project sponsors. High risk projects may require the guarantees of the project sponsors, surety and the guarantees of the project sponsors. So these all it has been considered while these has been considered under the characteristics of the project finance. Okay. So these are the very important points to be considered related with the revenue product producing contracts. That is, priority should be given to the lenders. First point is nothing but the priority. It has been to be given to the lenders. That is nothing but the banks. And consent of the lenders is required to disburse any surplus cash flow to project sponsors. And high risk projects may require the surety guarantees of the project finance. What are the advantages of the project financing? What are the different advantages of the project financing? There are it may be project financing may have advantages as well as disadvantages. So what are the advantages of project financing? To eliminate or reduce the lenders resource to the sponsors. In order to eliminate or to reduce the bank's resources to the sponsors, permits an off balance sheet treatment of the debt financing. There is an off balance sheet, some amount of the work or some project work to be calculated, or it has been carried out off sheet of balance sheet. So therefore it is it is the best, it is very important in the project financing. So maximize the leverage of the project, avoid any restrictions or covenants binding the sponsors under their respective financing obligations. Avoid any negative impact of a project on the credit standing of the sponsors. There may be a negative impact of the project. So, in order to avoid the negative impact, this project financing plays an important role regarding the credit standing of the sponsors. Okay? So, there may be a negative impact may be there regarding the sponsors. So, this project financing avoids the negative impact of the project on credit standing of the sponsors, obtain better financial conditions when the credit risk of the project is better than the credit standing of the sponsors. Allow the lenders to appraise the project on a segregated and standalone basis, obtain a better tax treatment for the benefits of the projects, the sponsors or both. Okay, so tax benefits are also considered in this project financing. So project financing, it is very important regarding the tax treatment or tax benefits will be considered. Tax regarding various tax concern will be considered. Various aspects will be considered in the project financing. So tax treatment is very important in the project financing. What are the disadvantages? Disadvantages of project financing often takes longer to the structures than equivalent size cooperative finance because it is a long-term project. Therefore, span of this project is very high. Therefore, it takes a long term. Okay, so often takes longer to structures than equivalent size cooperative financing. So, financing a long-term financing will be required in case of project finance because this it is nothing but ongoing projects are there and it requires the span of the completion of the project is very large. Therefore, it takes time. Higher transactions cost due to creation of independent entity can be up to 60 BB. That is high transaction cost due to creation of independent entity. Project depth is substantially more expensive. That is 50 to 400 basis points due to its non-resource natures. Okay, project depth is more expensive. It is nothing but the very expensive in case of project financing. It is an disadvantages. The depth project depth is substantially more expensive due to its non-resource nature because there is non-resources or a limited resources has been covered in this project finance. Therefore, it is disadvantages in the project financing. Extensive contracting restricts managerial decision making. So there may be while making decisions regarding construction of projects. So while it is having a extension or there is change, there is revision in the projects. So while there is revision in the projects, the decision making it is very important. Therefore, it is a disadvantages in case of project financing. Okay, decision making in managerial decision making it is not considered in the project financing. Okay? So this is nothing but the disadvantages because while project is going on, so there may be changes, there may be revisions, or there may be supplementary works to be done. There may be a revision in the drawings. There may be revision in the various construction of the projects. So at the managerial levels, it cannot be considered in case of this. Therefore, this is nothing but the disadvantage of project financing. Project finance requires greater disclosure of property informations and strategic deals. So various informations or disclosures will be covered in this information regarding the projects will be covered in the project financing. What are the guiding parameters to finance any projects? So what are the different heads or guiding parameters to finance any projects? So bank loans. So bank loans are the nothing but guiding parameters to finance any project. That is nothing but bank loans. So bank loans are the most commonly used source of funding for small and medium-sized businesses. That is in construction of buildings. So bank loans are very important. Okay? So bank loans are most commonly nowadays where banks gives the amount for construction of for the project, for construction of various bridges or construction of various roads or construction of buildings related with the projects. So bank loans are very important. So bank loans are the most commonly used resource of funding for small and medium-sized businesses. In general, you should know bankers are looking for companies with sound track record and that have excellent credits. Okay, when the project's cost is high. Wait a minute. Okay. So various bankers are they are having they are looking for a project. Okay. So various bankers are there where they are looking for a project who is having sound projects. That means the projects should have the various things or sound projects companies with a sound track record and that have excellent credits. So they are looking to invest. The bankers are looking for investing their money for such projects which is having a sound record, which is having a sound track record and having excellent credits, excellent overall its executions or its various aspects are overall having a broad aspects. So such bankers are they are looking for a projects. Okay, companies are looking for the project. A good idea is not enough. It has to be backed up with a solid business plan. So this projects is having various ideas are there. Construction projects is having ideas, but they are lacking the money. Money matters because in every construction projects, money matters. So backup should be there. The backups are given by these banks or bankers gives the backups to a business plan. Business plans, various projects. These bankers gives the backup to the various construction projects. Startup loans will also typically require a personal guarantee from the entrepreneurs. So once and what is entrepreneurs? Entrepreneurs is nothing but the one individual one who is having a startups for this, who wants to have a business, startup business for who want to lay the business. Therefore, startup loans will also typically require personal guarantees from the entrepreneurs. So, such bankers will be covered. Bank loans are covered in this parameters, the guiding parameters to finance any projects. So, bank loans are very important. Personal investments are there. Personal level investors are there also available when starting a business. Your first investor should be yourself because some amount it is to be some amount of the person who is executing the project or it is having a project. The company should also invest some amount so that that amount it is to be taken into consideration because once we are utilizing our amount for a project, then the feelings will be attached with the project. Okay, so therefore, in order to attach the feelings with the project, so some amount will be invested by at a personal level. The one who execute the projects, the some amount it is to be invested by that person. Okay. So when starting a business, your first investor should be yourself, either with your own cash or with collateral on your assets. There may be collaterals instead of if the cash is not available with you, there may be a collateral assets may be there against your assets. Some amount can be given to the project. Again, so there is a collateral way in which we can invest amount an amount. So collateral on your assets. This proves to investors and bankers that you have a long-term commitment to your project. Because once we are investing an amount, so then we are linked with the project. Okay? Our feelings will be linked with the project. We will be linking with the projects. So therefore, there is a connection with the project. Okay? Long-term commitment to your projects, and that you are ready to take risk. Okay? Once we are investing an amount, then that means that we are ready to have profit or loss. Okay, the profit and loss will be bear by the owners itself. We are ready to take the risk. No money is also there. This is also guiding parameters for project financing. This is a money loaned by a spouse, parents, individual level. Spouse is nothing but individual level, parents, family, or friends. Investors and bankers consider this as patent capital, which that will be repaid later as your business profit increases. Okay, so at a personal level, okay, if I am having an amount, then I can invest that amount, or my family is having an amount, so that my family members against me can invest the amount for a particular type of project for a family or friends. So there are various sponsors or parents or family or friends can invest in a project. So such is nothing but a patent capital, which is money that will be repaid later as your business profit increases, which will be repaid when the business close, or when there will be profit in the business. So then that amount will be recovered, or it will be taken by the investors. When borrowing low money, you should be aware that family and friends rarely have much capital, because once you are investing, therefore there should be having a much amount of money, because while you are investing the money, some amount it should also be kept with your family for your daily needs. Okay? So therefore, family and friends are rarely have much capitals. They may want to have equity in your business. That means interference or fair means will be also considered in this business. Business relationship with families or friends should never be taken lightly, because once you are involving your family with the business, once we are involving the friends with the business, so don't take it lightly, because they are investing the money, therefore they needs the profit from it. Because once you are investing, you are adding your family, your friends with the business, then it should not be taken it lightly. Okay, so love money. Venture capital. Venture capitalists are looking for technologies driven businesses and companies with high growth potential in sectors such as information technology, communications, and biotechnologies. So there are various capitalists. Capitalist is the person who wants to invest his capital, his amount, and various investors are ready to invest the amount for high growth potential in sectors such as information technology, communications, and biotechnology, because these are the growing fields. Information technology is evergreen or growing fields. Okay, information technology or communications or biotechnology, they are ready to invest the amounts. Okay. So venture capitalist takes an equity positions in the company to help it carry out promising but higher risk projects. So they are equally involved in this equity. They are involved in the projects because they are investing for in the projects. But venture capital is nothing but they are looking for such a type of projects which is having a information technology projects or communication and biotechnology projects. This involves giving up some ownership or equality in your business to an external parts. Venture capitalists also express a healthy returns on their investments. Okay, they want returns from it, because once they are investing an amount, so they will have the returns. They want the returns from it. The healthy returns on their investments often generated when the business starts selling shares to the public. Okay, so they requires a healthy returns from it. Angel investors are there. Angel is again the word. All these are nothing but the guiding parameters for the project financing. Okay, so these are very important. Angel investors are also there. Angel investors are generally wealthy investors, individuals or retired company executives who invest directly in a small firms owned by others. Okay, so there are various retired persons are there who's having the amount of money. They want to invest for ongoing projects, various large scale projects. So they want to invest their money in large scale projects. So this is nothing but the angel investors. So they want retired company executives are there, because they are having a strong idea regarding this. So retired company executives are there. Okay, because they are having knowledge for this, which on in which projects they want to invest. They are having a view regarding this. So retired company executives are nothing but the angel investors. They are often lenders in their own field. They are the leaders in their own field, because they are having the experience in their own fields, and they are ready to invest because they are retired from executives at a higher post. They have been retired from a higher post, and they are having they want to invest the money in a project. Okay, they are often leaders in their own field, who not only contribute their experience and networks of contacts, but also their technical and management knowledge. Okay, they will utilize their network of contacts related with the government bodies, and they will also utilize their technical and management skills and knowledge. Angel investors tends to finance the early stages of the business with investment in the range of 10 lakhs to the 1 crore. So at early stages, they are ready to invest at an amount of 10 lakhs to the 1 crores. Institutional venture capitalists prefer large investments in the range of 10 crores. Okay? The various institutional venture capitalists prefer large investments in the range of 10 crores. So these are nothing but the angel investors. Next is nothing but the business incubators. So incubators are nothing but the accelerators, because budding engineers are there, which is having knowledge regarding the various construction of projects, various projects. So there are incubators are there, business incubators or accelerators are there, generally focus on the high tech sectors, technological sectors, by providing support for new businesses in various stages of development. However, there are also local economic development incubators, which are focused on areas such as job creations, uh, revi- revitalizations, and hosting and sharing services. The various services will be shared by these business incubators. They are the local economical development incubators are there. Uh, Company incubators will invite future businesses and other fledgling companies to share their promises, as well as their administrative, logistical, and technical resources. Incubators might share the use of its laboratories so that a new business can develop and test its products more cheaply before beginning productions. Okay, so their skills regarding the various technical skills will be utilized in order for the by the various companies. So it is nothing but the business incubators. Next is lastly is nothing but the government grants and subsidies. So there may be subsidies related with the projects. There may be grants given by the government bodies. So getting grants, it can be tough, because there may be a strong competition, and the criteria for awards are often limited. Therefore, generally, most grants requires you to match the funds you are being given, and this amount varies greatly depending on the guarantor. For example, a research grant may requires you to find only 40% of the total cost. That means 40% of the total cost will be given by the government bodies. Okay, various government agencies or government grants or subsidies will be given, but depending upon its equity, or depending upon its depth of the projects, only 40% will be given, or 40% of that amount will be given by the government bodies. Okay, so generally you will need to provide a detailed project descriptions, because 40% will be given by the government bodies. So generally these things will be required. A detailed project description will be required. What is the type of project? How much will be the cost of the project? Various stages in the projects. Okay, so a detailed project report will be required. Will be it is to be given to the government bodies. A detailed project description it is to be given. An explanation of the benefits of your projects. What is the benefits? What is the outcomes of the projects? What is the benefits of the projects? Why it is to be led? What is the beneficiary? Whether it is directly in contact with the public, or whether it is directly in contact with the various things. So all the explanation, all the benefits will be given related with the projects. A detailed work plan with a full cost will be given. A work plan will be given from first stage, from starting from excavations up to the various stages related with the projects. So all a detailed work plan will be given. All the network diagram will be given. All the various items of works will be given with its cost, because they are giving the 40% amount. Therefore, all the stages in the construction of projects, its plan will be given. Its cost will be given, and details of relevant experiences and background on key managers will be given. Whether this project it has been executed by the experienced persons or not. The various keynote experienced persons. What are the various positions in the various heads in the projects. So all this detailed experience and background of the project will also be given. Managers will be given. Okay, so completed application forms, when appropriate completed application form will be given related with the projects. So these all will be covered in the general entities regarding the project financings. Okay. So in this way, project financing deals with all these various aspects. So we have in this today's lectures, we have seen the various aspects related with the project financing, starting from its definitions, its importance, for whom it is very very important to understand the project financing, its advantages we have studied, its disadvantages we have studied, and its various aspects related with these 7 points we have studied in the project finance. Okay. So in next lecture we will see the detailed project report, that is DPR, detailed project report. So again, detailed project report is very very again important in construction management and law, CML. So in next lecture we will see DPR, that is detailed project report. Okay, thank you.